Welcome back to another video. On here we are going to create a best friends forever string art piece with Sanyu and Sarah. So I had already pinned the paper on the board. Right now what I am doing is creating holes through the paper onto the board where I'm going to nail. Yeah, you can use 1 centimeter spacing or you can use less depending on what you want. By the time I'm doing this, of course, I have my spacing in mind. So I'm using, I think, 1 centimeter, but I'm just using my head for that. You can use a ruler for efficiency and accuracy. So you do this for every single bit of the design until you're done. For the letters, they need to really come out. So you need to concentrate on the corners. So after doing that, you're going to remove your paper. Remove your paper, and then now it will be time to put our nails. Remember, you remove the paper completely when you know and you're sure that all the points of the design have been nailed, have been pinned. Okay, you have to make sure that all the pieces, all the designs, all the corners, every part has been captured, because once you miss out any part, then you're going to miss the part in designing, and that won't be nice. So these are our nails that you're going to use, and the hammer that you are going to use. We're going to get these nails and hammer them into the holes that we created already, making sure that the nails don't go through the board. So I've done most of the nailing here. This is what it looked like before and after. This is how it looks like after nailing. So all the holes that you put in the board are going to have to get a nail. All of them. You have to be careful around here, not to hammer your hands, not to hammer your fingers. I've done that before. It's not funny. It is not funny. One nail at a time. If you cannot get your nails to be straightened, don't be discouraged. That's where I started from. Mine are not straight, but at least they're upright somehow. So you can just nail everything, then afterwards you come back and then you straighten everything. Straighten all the nails. So a few more nails to go. In case you have any questions, please ask in the comment section. I'll be able to answer them. This design, I came up with it. I've been doing it on smaller boards, just that this time around, the client asked me to put it on a bigger board and paint it black. So I don't paint the smaller boards, but I paint the bigger ones. This is 30 centimeters. The other boards, the smaller boards, are 20 centimeters. The ones I don't paint. These ones I definitely can paint. So yeah, we're done. And now I'm going to work on this lifeline. Already you have the sketch on your paper, so please follow that sketch. You sketch on a paper, you get a paper that's the size of the board, sketch on the paper, sketch everything. Don't just put dots, sketch everything, because that's what's going to help you draw these lines or create these designs. As you're going to see, I made a few mistakes because I was not following the paper around here. Yeah, I couldn't figure out how a lifeline was supposed to go, so I had to remove that. It looks funny. Oh my god. So I had to remove that and then do it again. This looks more like it. So make sure you're with your paper next to you when you're designing. It's very important for you not to mess up, not to make any mistakes, and not to imagine things, to follow the design. Yeah, so I tie that off. I use some glue. The error of using matchboxes is behind us. Matchboxes will burn everything. So I use glue and very small scissors and cut that off. So I have a very small piece hanging. You see how it looks? I'll straighten everything else when I'm done. It's important that we just continue working. Then all the other things that are not okay, we straighten them at the end. So this is our letter B. Remember, we are writing best friends forever. If you do not know the technique I am using, bordering, using the technique that you use for bordering in other designs, I'll have to show you in another video. In this particular video, I think if it's not visible, I'll have to show you in another video. But it's more of a zigzag. Here I got lost. That's why I paused there to look on the paper. I brought the paper close. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, this is where I was supposed to pass. It's more of a zigzag. I think here it's clear. It's more of a zigzag. This is letter B. Make sure you don't lose the font. Maintain the font. Keep looking on your paper. Because at the end of the day, what is on your paper is what you're going to create. And what you're seeing is what you're going to create. To tie that off, remember we use our glue, super glue. You must be very careful. I put one small dot of glue. This glue is very strong, extremely strong. And I make sure I cut this string to the point where it does not show. That's how I get my work to be so clean. So we are done with all the other letters. Now on to Sarah. I think here the bordering is clear. The technique that I'm using is clearer because the body is closer. This is letter A. We're writing Sarah. Zigzag, back, zigzag, back. Yeah, it's clearer here. Yeah, and I have to make sure I maintain the thickness everywhere. Everywhere here it was a little bit confusing. Even when I followed what's on the paper. This font, the R's are different. Who invented this font? It looks like something else, not letter R. Yeah, but it makes the work look very good. It's I think it's a form of calligraphy. I have no idea. But it makes the work look neat, classy. Letter R left, letter H left, only one letter left. It gets really confusing around here. When it gets confusing, I cannot explain how I'm creating this, but when it gets confusing, you have to make it look like the letter. Do everything you can to make it look like the letter. Otherwise, if it's not looking like the letter, I can't help. I can't help. At some point, you're going to have to swim like I do swim also sometimes. Swim to the shallow end. Swim to the shallow end. So we cut that off and we have Sarah. And now the heart. I've already done the other heart. Let me show you how I did this one. This is another technique of string art. Remember, we have three techniques. We have zigzag, we have scribbling, and then we have another one called fanning. In case you have no idea what I'm talking about, the string art video is going to be up soon. You'll learn these techniques and it will be easier for you to work with. So this is zigzag because it's from one end to the other, one end to the other. And I'm using yarn just in case you're wondering what kind of thread I'm using. So for zigzag, I'll explain more in the video. This is how it works. We're trying to make sure we cover up spaces. We cover up as many spaces as we can, as many spaces as possible until everything is covered up. We don't have to cover up everything because some people don't like all the spaces covered, others like everything covered, others don't like seeing any black underneath. But the whole essence of having string art is covering most of the piece, most of the design with strings. Doesn't have to be everything. And it looks beautiful when some parts are left out. Of course, not huge spaces, but I think what I did with the other hat, if it's visible enough to you, the part that is visible you can see. Yeah. So after using zigzag, we go on to the next technique that is more of scribbling. It's a mixture of scribbling and zigzag. Yeah, scribbling is very random. Very random. What I'm trying to do is create an organized mess at the top. So I'm using two techniques, zigzag and scribbling. It's an organized mess because it's disorganized, but it looks cute. And then I start to border. The same technique I was using for the letters, I use it to border. Bordering helps to bring out the heart shape properly. The real shape of the heart. It still looks like a heart, but it looks chipped, like someone came and beat pieces of it. So this technique helps us to have a whole heart. WHOLE. A full heart, in other words. You see that? I hope the zigzag now is clear. I call it bordering, probably it has another name, but for purposes of this video and others to come, we shall just call it bordering or highlighting, because sometimes I use different colors to make this. But yeah, now we're almost done. I can't wait to show you how it looks. I can't wait to show you how it looks. Can't wait to show you how it looks. And we are done. So this is how it looked at the end. Best friends forever, Sanyu and Sarah.